Be open to getting it.
Yeah.
It's like here in Germany, when your child starts going to school, I'll make an example, right? A Nigerian mother is bringing her child into a German school, right? And she's, she migrated down here. The child first language at home is, of course, English or Igbo or Yoruba or whatever culture that person is from. So,
Princess, we're not that good. The first language most of the time is English. Nigerian parents, most of them don't teach their kids their local language. They end up speaking English.
That's not true.
Not true. From my own personal experience, my own personal experience tells me something else.
It's different. No, from my own personal experience, it's different. Of course, yes, it's English, but there's some other languages that some people speak and they teach their kids. I have my friend with me. He taught, my friend's brother taught the child. That's the child at 3 years old spoke more Igbo than Ish.
Princess, let's come back. This child, you're talking about one child.
Okay. Yeah.
What is like the 100%? Out of 100%, how many Nigerian parents end up teaching? Let me just even say Nigerian parents. Let's stick with Africa. How many of them end up teaching their kids their local languages? Francophone, it's always French. Anglophone, English.
English. Yeah.
Continue with the story. I'm listening. I just wanted to correct
but nevertheless, when a child is coming from a migrational family to a German school, the child is not placed with the Germans. The child, first of all, goes through an intermediary school, so to speak, so that they will teach the child the German language, and then the child, at a certain point or after a certain class, joins with the German children. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And in that phase, or in all phase of the German school, there is always this one-on-one PTA meeting with the parents to say, hey, how's my child going? What would my child learn? What did my child learn? What did my child do? Or how your child is going? What your child learned? This thing is not in our schools.
Yeah.
We go to boarding schools, we go to day schools. There is even this PTA meeting that they do for us. They don't talk about your child. They just talk about in general what they want to do for the school.
Exactly.
They don't talk about the children.
Yeah.
I find it quite. Now that I'm grown, I remember the PTA meetings, and it was not about your children. It was about the school.
It was about the school. The school wanted to raise some money. Your parents were busy donating money for the school.
The PTA meetings were just parent teachers association or parent teachers meeting. It was never about the child. But here, it's always about the child. They want to know what that child was doing, if he had evolved from what he has learned in school.
Yes.
If he evolved it, if he transitioned into it also at home, and what you can do to make sure that what we're teaching him at school is also being taken up at home.
Yeah.
And every time I go to such a place, and I have to be there because of my job, and then I realized that, wow, this was missing in our homes.
Yeah.
Or it is still missing in our homes. Imagine if you're in a boarding school right here, and then they bring your parents to come and talk. Of course, I think that should be another discussion at that time. The spirit of fear that your abuser has put into you not to talk.
Exactly.
Or the fear of, when I say it, I'll be criticized, I'll be stigmatized.
The consequences of what happens afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. And but that is something else.
Yeah.
It is also what we're talking about, but I think it's something else right now, because it's like, if there was a meeting or this thing of, let us discuss about a child.
Yeah.
When the child comes back home, we would ask the child questions. When your child is comfortable with you, seriously, when your child is comfortable with you in discussing things and not being scared of that Brachukwudi touched me or of this teacher beating me. We're not saying that when the teacher beats your child, you should run back and say, oh my God, you beat your child. No, but you have to listen. Listen, first of all, listen what happened, how it happened, and then you think about what you want to do.
Yes.
But for us, it's never like that. In short, when you tell your parents that, hey, Felix beats me, they'll be like,
what did you do? Of course, now that's the you must have done something for the teacher to beat you.
I'm telling you.
Exactly, that's the beginning of discussion.
Hey, in short, the worst part is that I didn't phone, or if, maybe there was no phone, but they would call that teacher and say, hey, this thing you did was good. supposed to pick and well now, so that you could hear what.
Please help me and train this child, though. It's not my child alone. It's our child. Okay.
And you'd be like, what was the reason why I spoke? Why did I talk? It's better I shouldn't talk next time. I should just take it as normal. My parents would never stand by me. They will not listen to me. They will not help me. So what's the use? I can do this on my own. And that's when kids turn.
Exactly. I think I love the word you used with turn. That's when they turn.
Yeah, that's when they turn, because they realize, okay, I have nobody but me. And then they start thinking about the best ways to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
Which is turning.
Yeah.
Which is being that same thing that they do not want to be.
Yeah.
Being that same thing that they know that they don't like, but they have to be like that for them to be comfortable in their space.
Yeah, to be able to. I think it's more of a survivor mode. You know, it's like you have to survive, and it's also like it's. Oh my God, I think the topic gets home. Okay, it's like personal. It's too personal for me. It gets home, but you know, I just hope there will be solutions. Okay, what do you think are solutions to such abuses? It's like